What's really good, Eagles Galaxy Universe Nation? It's another Wednesday night episode, Eagles Elite Podcast. This week is a little special. Got some different things happening, but I'm still here, still your host, your boy Cool McCain, and we 4-0. Just want to remind everybody of that. Go and bring on my co-host, Mr. Wyatt himself, the Squad Pod guy. What's going on, Wyatt?
Great, man. Like living up the 4-0 feeling, ready to move on to 5-0. Fly Eagles fly.
Definitely, man. I hear that, and I love it. And next, we're gonna hop on one of our new guys here, Rob the Great.
Yeah.
Rob, what's going on, man?
Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, all day.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Yes, sir. And you know we got to do it for the ladies. So we also have Miss Sierra Cobb, another diehard Eagles fan, on with us today.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna get into a little Eagles talk, of course. But before we do that, there may be a little something that we need to let y'all see. You know hotness when you see it. That's all I really got to say.
The kick is away, and the kick is it's gone! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
That's a way to start off after another wonderful victory by the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll start with you, man. We're just going to talk a little bit about, give me your feelings on the game last week. The Dougie P reunion game, we'll call it.
Yeah, it was great to have Dougie P back in the building here. I'm glad nobody was out here booing him. I know some people were a little worried about that, but, it was a great reception by the Philly crowd. I didn't really know what to expect because until game day, I didn't know how bad the weather was going to be. I mean, like Jalen Hurts said, it was raining sideways out here. So, I mean, it was hard to move the ball there for a while until they kind of got a rhythm. Started very ugly. I didn't know how this game was going to go, going down, pretty much spotted them 7 points right off the bat. And then they have that other touchdown going down 14-0. But, man, the determination and the will and not like this team, man, is something special. They were able to rally back through this terrible weather. And they were able to put a strong victory together, and they played pretty much all 4 quarters this time.
Definitely. Rob, what are your thoughts?
Basically, a little bit of the same. Going down 14-0, throwing that horrible pick six. Then you just let them march right down the field. I feel like we have control of that because we showed that in the previous 2 games. In the first game, I don't even want to talk about that. Let's just forget about it because it's wild that even happened. But in the next 2 games, they had their wits about them in the beginning of the game. So I think that a little bit of rain or whatever you want to call it, it was a little bit of shock out there at the beginning of it. They needed to grab their bearings and get about their situations. And after they did that, they started moving the ball down the field at will. I feel like they let off the gas or a little bit. In the second half, they weren't doing as well moving the ball. It seemed like they were moving it a little bit and then they were done. And then they were moving it a little bit and then they were not doing it. So I don't know if it's Sirianni taking a foot off the gas or whatever, but these games are entirely too close. The Eagles are a great football team and it should be blowouts, especially against the competition that we've had. That's the Jags probably been the best. I mean, the Lions are not good. And, but then we are handling our business because that's what you're supposed to do against bum teams.
Fair enough. Miss Eagles Diva, what are your thoughts?
I felt like after Jalen Hurts got everything together, I felt like we both started firing on both defense and offense at the same time. Because a lot of times we don't get that. You have either one or the other. So I felt like they both got it together. The only thing that does scare me is when we come out scoring either in the first or second half, and then we let up the gas. Like we just completely just let that thing go. And we just cruising on in. And I just feel like we're too tough of a team to just cruise on in. We could just be smashing people. Like, I mean, I just want to smash people. I'm sorry. But I just want to smash people, you know? Like, it's the reason why we can't. Like, we have the team on both defense and offense. But sometimes Gannon does scare me with some of his play calling on the defense sometimes. But other than that, Gannon and Sirianni, ain't gonna lie, they really did surprise me because I was a little iffy at first on both of them. But yeah, I'm proud of the way we playing. It's been since 2004, and we've been 4-0.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we definitely could make the Super Bowl, most definitely. But
hey, I'm not gonna knock the thoughts, right? Like if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. So I just want to say a couple things here. So the Eagles are 4-0. Jalen Hurts was the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. And then also, I say this every week, or it's said every week. We're the best team in the NFL. We're the only undefeated team. And until somebody beats us, we're going to be undefeated. And you know why that is?
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
And baby, we are the cream right now.
no,
hey, I mean, it can change, right? Every game's been, for the most part, close except the Commanders game. So we got to make sure we stay just ready. And, like you said, Miss Eagles Diva, one of the big things is those second halves, and I've been harping on that, all season. We have to come out with that same intensity that we do when we're scoring once we get the lead, because the problem is you get the lead and then you become stagnant. You get a couple of scores and it's kind of like, oh, we're good now. We can just run out the clock. We're going to play teams, and Arizona's going to be one of those teams. And we're going to talk about them later, but that can actually put points up on the board in the second half that are not going to say, oh, we're down. We don't know what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to get into that mindset heading into the rest of the season of continuing to put points on the board. Kind of like Rob said, right? We want to be in a position, and it's been said on the show before, we want to be in a position where fourth quarter, halfway through, we're pulling starters and we're putting backups in. So to do that, we got to really put teams away. We limit chances for injuries. We show teams that, hey, we're not taking our foot off the gas. Steichen's got to get better at that. I see the correlation to that from last year as well, because a lot of times last year we would get a lead and then all of a sudden we would kind of take our foot off the gas. Some people like that philosophy. I, for one, am not one of those people. I think at least one other person here is not one of those people. I don't think any of us really like that. No. So, guys, what are your thoughts? And we'll start with you, Rob, on just what do you think the Eagles can do to kind of pick it up in these second halves and continue to put our foot on the other team's throat once we get a lead?
Okay, well, here's an idea. Go out there and play smash mouth football for a good 3 quarters. Give the fans 45 minutes. And I feel like we'll have a big enough lead at that point that we could start pulling people after the first drive in the fourth quarter. Just exactly what the Diva said. You score a lot. You take them guys out. Get them second and third string guys some reps so they're prepared. So we all know it's football. Next man up is the way it is. We all have our guys that we like and love and all that, and we never want to see anybody hurt. But if you get hurt in this league, the next man's job it is. And so if we get them guys some reps in game where it actually counts and they have a little bit more experience in the game, maybe I feel like they'll be able to fill a spot better and give them a little airtime. If they're making plays, they're getting announced on some of these games, and they'll appreciate that. And I feel like they'll play harder. I don't know too much about the second and third string because I didn't get a lot of the preseason out here. Forgot I had ticket, so duh. But anyway, so you get guys in there that are second and third string, where it's out of Philly market areas where guys like me could see them playing and actually doing pretty good, and maybe hey, somebody starts slipping up and they're not doing as well. I don't see anybody really that's like that now, but if there is somebody and you see the next guy shining, hey, plug him in. Let's see what he can do. So.
Absolutely. Miss Diva, what are your thoughts?
Run the damn ball. Run the damn ball. You have 1,000,001 running backs that can smash, that can run north, south, downhill, uphill. Run the ball. Like I love Jalen running the ball, but I don't want him to get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like you have enough running backs to use them and to cycle them to run the ball, and you can switch it up. So I'm not understanding why we aren't running. I love the fact that he's got all these passing yards, but run the ball. I think that opens up all lanes when you're running the ball. Technically, when you keep running the ball and you just keep smashing it in their mouth, we've done it before. So it doesn't work. So that's my thoughts. Run the damn ball.
We're running the ball for over 100 yards a game now. So
yeah, we did a lot of running in 2017.
So I mean, if you put it in the hands more, Gainwell needs to be more productive too, though. I mean, Sanders is lighting it up right now. So definitely make him your workhorse. Don't put Gainwell in there. Keep Sanders in there. If he's doing the job right now. Keep feeding Sanders, like she said. Don't even give Gainwell the ball. I mean, and Ertz can run if he needs to. RPOs all day.
Don't forget
Top of your wire. What you think about this?
Yeah, boss. Yeah, he's coming off that rib injury right now. But I think he's back at practice. I mean, as far as they just need to stay aggressive. It seems like in that second half, I mean, they tend to run the ball a little bit more, but they're not being aggressive with running the ball. It doesn't seem like they're really trying to get those next couple yards like they would say if they were behind. And then every now and every other drive, it seems like maybe they'll try one big play, but they're just not staying aggressive. They're playing very conservative, just kind of running the ball and then get stopped, quick 3 and out, or maybe they'll get one first down and then, or some couple short throws, but they kind of stray away from doing what works against that given team that they're playing that week. It doesn't matter what was working before. If we're up points, they're just going to go back to running the ball conservatively. Right. So they just need to be aggressive. It seems like some of these other teams in the league have no trouble doing that, like the Bills or the Ravens or the Dolphins. Some of these other teams are just blowing these teams out, putting up 40 points on them. So it's that's what we should be doing every given week. We know we have the firepower to do so. So why not use it?
I feel like all them teams that are doing that ain't seen Philly's D yet, though.
True.
I don't think they're putting up no 40 burger on them boys. Hey,
it's going to be hard to do that. This team is definitely we talked about it in the offseason. We went through and talked about the different ones, and y'all will be part of that. When we do that moving forward. But man, I'm just excited. I was very happy with Miles Sanders. Big shout out to Miles Sanders because I've been a detractor of Miles Sanders because he can't stay healthy. Right. And I haven't seen him do what he's been doing this past few weeks before. Also, I don't know who needs to go down to the practice squad or whatever. Trey Sermon needs to stay on this active roster.
Yeah.
That's a man. That's a bowling ball with legs, and that's what we're missing. When we're getting a safety because we're running Boston Scott from the 1 yard line, that's not a wise decision. But this is a guy who can take that kind of play, break some tackles, and get out of that end zone in that situation. That's one of the things I think we've been missing. I have some friends that are Niners fans, and they said the big thing with him in San Francisco was the offense that they run. You have multiple holes to go through, and it was taking him too long to figure out which one was the right one. So I think
kind of like Miles was a little bit, starting out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're saying more now that it's more of him, just having that one hit and then a bounce that doesn't work. That he's processing things faster, so he's able to get going and kind of be that bowling ball with legs, as Key Williams said when she was on the show, that we kind of have been missing. So I'm excited to see, and hopefully this is something that can continue with him because honestly, the Jaguars have a good defense. They had a great run defense before they played us. They have a great, pretty good passing defense. We were able to kind of do our thing a little bit, but this is the first team that we've been able to do that with.
Hey, I just want to give all props to Jalen Hurts because that man will bench press all defenses off of him. Let me get that all day. Leg strength is out of this world. No, but I understand we don't want him running the ball the whole time like that because risk of injury and all that. But yeah, get a big boy in there, let him run the ball for sure.
Yeah, speaking of Jalen Hurts has a message for all the Hurts haters.
Acknowledge me.
I love it, man. Do Eagles Diva, Wyatt, you guys have any thoughts on Jalen Hurts so far this year?
Man, it's Hurts season right now. I mean, it's not even just Hurts, just all around. I mean, when's the last time that the Eagles, we had a top 5 QB right now as far as passing yards, top 5 running back according to yards, and a top 5 wide receiver, like all at the same time? Like, this is pretty rare for us right now. So like, we're just living it up as Eagles fans while it lasts. So hopefully it lasts the whole season,
I'm not surprised with Jalen. I've watched Jalen through college. I watched him at Alabama and I watched him at Oklahoma, and I've watched him overcome a lot of, especially when he left from Alabama to Oklahoma. So I've watched him go through adversity and overcome adversity. So I'm not surprised. I mean, to me, Jalen Hurts has always had the kind of Michael Vick thing going on. If you ask me, like, he's kind of close to Michael Vick. So I knew that once he got in and he really got experience with the right coach, I knew that Jalen would be what we all thought he was going to be, even though he had a bunch of haters who thought he wasn't going to do it. But we knew. I mean, if you watch college football, you know when a player is going to be what they're going to be, period. So,
Yeah, he really showed up, and I love his work ethic that he has. I love, like, I don't know if you guys saw the interview today that he had. They were just asking him about, like, oh, you're on the Manning cast. It seems like you're getting a lot of attention from media, and like, they didn't even ask him any questions about the game this coming week. And at the very end of his press conference, he's like, I know you didn't ask me any question about Arizona, but then he went and gave his thoughts. Like, they're a good team. They have a great defense. And it really just shows where his mindset is at. And it's 100% football and 100% getting better and focusing on that next game. And I mean, as long as you have a QB and a leader like that on your team, man, you can do anything. And that's scary, right?
Yeah, you know what else is scary? He's in there benching squatting as much as Kelsey.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a workout warrior.
Yeah.
I love the sweatshirt he had on when he was on the Manning cast. He'll pray for his haters. Loved it, man. Loved it. Take a shot, but you can't really get mad at the shot. For me, man, we've talked about it several times. I anticipated him doing this just because, Peyton Manning's one of his mentors. He spent the time, he puts in the work. To me, like you said, Eagles Diva, he has that ability, kind of like Vic. He can run, he can throw, but I think for me the big difference is the work, right? His offensive coordinator was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing still here?" And it was like 8, 9 o'clock at night. He was like, "Oh, I just came to get some water. I'm going back to the film room for a couple hours." He wants to be good. He wants to be the best, and he wants to learn what he knows he's deficient at. No one comes into the NFL prepared to be a starter from day one and playing well. If you really think about last year was his first full year as a starter, right? He didn't reach his 16 starts, which would be, what's considered a season until late in the season last year. Now we're seeing the maturation. Now we're seeing second year with the same coaching staff. We're seeing they brought in a stud beast at wide receiver. And if you watch my draft show, you saw that I was salivating when we got him because I know what kind of player A.J. Brown was. And to be able to bring that onto the team for a first-round draft pick, that was a no-brainer of no-brainers. So I'm just excited to see what this team can be together. And don't forget Devontae Smith, because if you try to take A.J. Brown away, Devontae Smith will make you pay.
Don't forget about Quez either, y'all. Don't forget about Quez.
Yeah. Quez hasn't been getting as many targets right now, but they'll come because there's so many weapons that they're going to have to.
He'll be gone on.
Yeah. They're going to have to give him opportunity. So everybody's going to get a chance.
Devontae's fast too, but with all that speed on the field, Nobody's going to be able to pay attention to both sides, especially now with AJ doing the dirty biz in the middle and, in his slot and all that. They're not going to be able to control the Eagles passing game, but still run the ball. Still run the ball,
Exactly.
please.
Exactly. Keep everybody honest.
Right.
Can we shout out to Nick, because Nick has really came in and let Jalen be who he is, and you can tell the whole team is just having fun. And when you have fun as a team, that's when you go out there and you win rings. Just really shout out to Nick, because Nick
You
really.
know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Mahomes' first year with the Chiefs starting. He was a second-year player. They had an excitement about him, and then in the second year they won the bowl because they had that. They were, enjoying themselves on the football field again. They were loving the play. When you got a leader like Ertz, it's easy to follow what he's doing because he's out there getting it. He's definitely somebody to look up to as far as the team is concerned and the league is concerned, because 205 yards rushing, 1,120 yards passing. He's putting people on notice.
I thank Nick for letting him, the plays that he calls for him, and I'm sure he does audibles, but Nick does call plays that fits for Hurts. Because you have some coaches that be calling plays and it's just not for the quarterback. And so I think that Nick does that very well.
Well, he gave up the play calling duties to the OC, Shane Steichen.
He needed to.
Yeah, that's I think why you seeing some of the things change, right? Because it happened according to their all-season press conferences. Around what was it? Week 8 or 9, I think they said he started calling plays.
Something.
So that's when we started to see some of the stuff. But to your point, still Nick is the coach, so Nick can override plays, and there may be some times where he's done that. What I'm loving the most about the staff is it feels like a camaraderie among the staff as well. So you have the players, they all get along, they get well, they're busting jokes, who stinks the most after practice, all kind of things I've seen videos of. It's just all kind of things. It's like team building that helps a team just, gel together. It's reminding me so far, and I've been very hesitant to say this, but it's reminding me of 2017. I'm giving some 2017 vibes.
Yeah.
Don't know if the outcome will be the same, but I am giving some of those same vibes so far. Excited, man. Hurts just came out the gate just crazy. Same thing happened in 17. Wentz came out of the gate just firing. Hopefully it doesn't end the same for Hurts as it did for Wentz. But I think that there's definitely a possibility for this team to be, very great, to make a deep playoff run and possibly get back, to the championship game in the Super Bowl. But we'll see. We still got a lot of football to play.
Yeah.
But so far, man, I mean, it's looking real good.
And I think this defense is leagues better than the defense that we had in that 2017 run under Jim Schwartz.
Oh, and it's everybody putting it together too. We got Bradbury and Slay with 2 interceptions each, Maddox with 1. You got 3 sacks from Reddick, Cox, and Graham, each with 3. Hassan Reddick, come on, boy out of CMD.
I mean, but he's in Carolina though, so I don't know why they let that go. But thank you.
Let us get that.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
And you got Edwards, leading tackler. So it's like it's everybody. It feels good. It feels good.
Edwards is turning into an elite player right before our eyes over these last couple seasons. And man, I've been hesitant to say it over these past couple weeks, but I'm gonna finally do it. And that's bad. I'm gonna give Jonathan Gannon it's credit, man. It seems like he's putting it together with some of these players. That D line is eating each and every week. Even though it was bad weather, which helped a little bit, losing Slay, and you didn't even have Avonte Maddox play during that game, and they were able to overcome that and make something of it. So that I gotta give him credit with that, man. And just the past couple of weeks with the Vikings and everything.
Can I just say thank you to the Eagles front office for our off season, because you give us Bradbury, Reddick, and then you go get AJ Brown,
White's been great,
and don't
CJ GJ,
Kaiser White, very good at us, a linebacker position that we have basically treated like the
Kaiser White
of the team for years.
Second in tackles on the team right now, so yeah.
And remember this: last 3 weeks, 3 defensive players of the week in the NFC, all from the Eagles.
Right.
Started out with
Yeah.
Brandon Graham, big play Slay, and then this week Hassan Reddick with that monster performance. So man, the defense has so many different people that it's in one of those situations where it's hard to take somebody away. I love it.
Shout
I'm sure
out to
you guys
Reddick.
love it. Oh yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Reddick, second player in NFL history to have a strip sack fumble recovery 2 times in a game.
Yeah.
Love it, man. We love it.
Yeah,
I just
people are
wanted to
doing
continue.
big things, man. It's good to. I love it, man. I love watching it.
Yeah, stats look good. I mean, Jalen has what 87.5, and then AJ Brown has 85, has like receiving yards, and then he has great. Like we're all just as far as stats go, they look amazing.
Yeah.
Those things, those things are definitely important. So why,
Plus 8 turnover ratio,
you know,
even
why?
with that BS pick 6.
That was an anomaly. I can't believe we're going to
Yeah.
see that much more here throughout the season, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope that the ball just got away from him. It was raining and
Got
you're trying to
tipped.
throw it one way and expecting to go another way, and probably, like you said, man, I got tipped at the line. So we'll call it an anomaly, definitely. So why, you're our guy for the breaking news, man. So any news, injuries, anything to discuss?
Yeah, we actually got Andre Dillard, removing him off of IR, so he's like within like the 21-day practice window. So we got a little bit more backup there on the O-line. As far as the injuries with like Slay, Avonte Maddox, Jordan Mailata, he was out most of the game. It seemed like they were actually like geared up to come back in. Like Mailata came out of and so did Slay. They both came out of the locker room and were working on the sideline a little bit. They just never got him back into the game because it didn't really seem like they needed him at that point. But as of, I think it was yesterday or today, Sirianni said that everybody that's hurt as of right now has a chance to play on Sunday. So can't be that bad as of right now. I know with Maddox, it was just like an ankle injury. Slay had something with his forearm, and Mailata had something with his shoulder because he dove to try to get the dude on that pick 6 and messed up his shoulder, I guess. But I don't know. It seems like we're starting to maybe get a little healthier, get some of these guys back. I feel like if it wasn't raining, some of these injuries wouldn't have happened, But that's the price you pay for not having a dome on your stadium.
If AJ Brown would have tackled, I forget who intercepted it, but if AJ Brown would have handled his business right there, he made a business decision not to do nothing. And I'm not mad because I'd rather have him as a receiver. But come on, AJ, you could do better than that. I mean, they could reach him or something, grab him. I don't know. Mailata got hurt because of that, though.
Yeah. But the last thing I had here was just we went out and signed Cameron Dicker, a kicker, just in case we need him here for this weekend in case Elliott can't go because he got banged up on that play pretty bad.
Yeah, they got 15 yards for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough hit to see. Obviously, I don't think it was malicious or anything, but yeah, that was tough to see. Him take that lick on the leg like that.
Yeah, on his plant leg too, or something like that. Yeah,
he toughed it out though.
Leg. He did. He did.
Yeah, he definitely toughed it out. For me, the only thing I'd have to say is, glad to get the people back from injuries. On the AJ Brown thing, so I saw an interview he did where he was saying his thought was to try to strip the ball to try to get the ball back, but then the angle he took was bad, so he couldn't get to him in time. Honestly, for me personally, I'm like, hey, I get what he's supposed to do. I get he's supposed to try to make the tackle, but like you said, Rob, you take AJ Brown off this team. Not saying we can't win games, but it's definitely not as dynamic as it is now. No. So
he's a true number one.
Yeah,
he's a true number one on any team.
I'm not upset. Yeah,
right.
Now, if Quez Watkins is over there, or if we still have that dude Jalen Rager, or Zach Pascal,
no,
y'all need to make that play. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to make that play. But
right.
AJ and Devontae, if y'all pull up, I'm not too upset. Now, that's one of the things I saw a couple of weeks ago that I never talked about. It just came back to mind. So I saw a couple of times where we were doing runs with either runs or runs with Ertz or like screen passes with Devontae Smith as a lead blocker.
Yeah. They had him out at punt return that one time too. And I was like, bro, don't do it. Don't put this dude on kick return or punt return. We can't afford that.
Shane, we do not run behind Devontae Smith, sir. We do not do that. If we run, we run behind AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert. We do not run behind Devontae
Pascal.
Smith.
Put the ball in Devontae's hands.
Mhm.
Yes,
because he's the guy you want running the ball. He's
you
fast.
don't want him blocking, sir. You
No,
don't want
he's
him
too
blocking.
little. He's I don't even think he's 200 pounds, man.
He's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
no, he's great. He's a great receiver, but blocking, hey.
He does.
There's a reason why he's skinny Batman.
They gotta have him on an eating regimen this whole season, like steak and potatoes for dinner every day, like 3 dinners a day. Yeah, and then maybe he'll be able to block next year. But no, yeah, man. But AJ used to be blocking in Tennessee, so I seen him do it several times, especially downfield when you got your running back balling. Henry's running all over everybody out there. So when when he would get past the linebackers and you got AJ down there blocking, doing his job, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to throw that in there so I didn't get a chance to talk about that. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "What are we doing?" Okay,
not mad though. You're right, not mad.
Absolutely. So, guys, let's switch gears up. Got a game coming up this week. We got a guy that we know very well on the other team. So, Miss Eagles Diva, we'll start with you. Talk to us about your feelings about Zach Ertz.
I don't know. Zach is one of my favorites, as you see. I think it's going to be hard for Zach to come back to Philly. I honestly don't. I wish we could have kept Zach. Zach was always one of my favorites. But I think it'll be a good game. As always, I think Zach, of course, get some records. He might get a touchdown or 2, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just happy that he's back. I know he's still wearing his Eagles pad still. So just excited for him to be back, and all you really can say.
Yep. What about your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, man, it's going to be good to see him. Just like everybody else, if you hated to see him go, it was going to come eventually, with all the trade rumors over not just that past off season, but it seemed like it was happening for like 2 seasons in a row. Whereas all right, it seems like the marriage with Zach Ertz is going to fall apart eventually. But you really can't take the Philly out of Zach Ertz. He still has his foundation in Philly. Him and Julie are a huge part of the community there. But it's going to be weird playing against them and everything. As for the game itself, I'm sure we'll dive into that. But it's going to be interesting to see us go up against Zach Ertz for the first time here.
Yeah, it is. I like Zach Ertz. He was a great tight end. Had one of the best years a tight end has ever had with our guys. So for that, I always have some type of a decent amount of respect for him. But once he gets on the red, from there on, it's like, hey, the pads are on, buddy. It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Like you said, we'll get into that, but great year, 2018, fantastic year. Zach Ertz did things that people haven't done. So for that, I respect him, admire him, but he's a Cardinal now, so I got to be done with him.
He's the enemy.
I got to be done with him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is one I would be torn on, right? Thankfully, this game isn't in Philly, so fans don't have to kind of make the decision right now whether you want to boo him or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's one of the guys that, he didn't ask to leave. He was really emotional. You could tell that it was not just, something he was saying. He really cares about the team. He cares about the city. Him and his wife still do a lot, for the city. So a lot of appreciation, for him as a player. One of the big reasons we won the Super Bowl was that touchdown catch he made that they were attempting to try to call back, but they were not able to do so. So I think that he's done a lot for the city of Philadelphia. He still does a lot in the city. Interesting to see the game when he actually plays, in Philly. But this will be the first time we're playing him. Like you said, I think it'll be a lot of love from the players and everything before the game. Hey, but once the game hits, it's going to be a completely different story. Zach, I know you got traded, but if you end up going into the Hall of Fame, you should definitely have on that Eagles green, sir.
Yeah, for
Say
sure.
if his contract runs out, he gets a little older, he's not a starter on a team, come back, be a backup, man. Like,
Exactly.
cool. Whatever, man.
Exactly.
Back up Goddard again. Like it is what it is. We just had to make a decision at that point. But man, if you don't want to retire, you still got some years on, like some tread on the tires. Come back. Hey, we'll welcome
Goddard needs to get good, okay? Because we got rid of the good guy, and Goddard, I don't feel like has filled the shoes just yet. He needs to catch the ball more when he has the opportunity.
Yeah, there is
from the tight end perspective.
Yeah, if there is one knock I would have, I'd have to agree with you that there's a couple of times where he should probably make the catch that he might not, make the catch.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely
He's
need
a beast,
those,
though, man.
Yeah, we definitely need those hands in all situations. He's kind of like, it's a weird situation. If it's a more difficult catch, he normally makes it. If it's a
one
routine
you think
catch,
he would make, right?
Yeah,
right,
he may drop
right.
one of those. And it's not all the time, but it's enough where you say, "Come on, man, we need you to get those."
Right. And sometimes it's for first down. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had one of those plays last week where he dropped it. And he was like, "Come on, Goddard."
That would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, would have been a touchdown. Yep.
Yeah. But he's been impressive, I think, for the most part. Like his yards after catch has been outstanding. Like he's just been bulldozing people over. They've been using him on screens a lot more, and he's just been running straight through people. Like I think it's hard because you have all these weapons on offense. Where like on any other team, this dude would be probably one of the focal points on offense, and he'd be that top tight end in the league. Where it's like now he's such a great piece of this. Everything that we have, he's just not going to get the attention that like a normal tight end would, like a Waller or, a Kittle or something like that.
Yeah. So that'll be a good benefit.
They're normal tight ends. They're normal.
Well, I mean, like a focal point of their offense. Really.
They are some big boys. They're like 6'8" or something. He just said Waller. That's a big bitch right there.
Hey, Goddard's a big fella too.
He is. What's he like? 6'6", right? So I mean, he's got. That. I like the size. He just needs to make them simple catches that he should make.
Consistent.
Those are the catches that we always counted on Ertz for, because it's like, oh, he's going to make that. We're going to throw it to him. That's how he got 116 catches, in a season, because he was going to catch the ball. Goddard is not that guy for us right now, and I know that we have many other better receiving options right now, but when the opportunity arises, I feel like he just is not seizing the moment enough. Carpe diem, bro. I mean, carpe diem. He's not doing it. I don't know what to tell him, but he just needs to get more consistent. You're consistent, but just get more consistent. Them stupid little passes that you drop like that. It's just, as a fan, as an Eagle fan, it's what have you done for me lately? And that last game is disappointing. So, but like I said, he's great size. He makes plays, but it's just he's not who I thought he was going to be, because now we have better receivers, so we don't have to rely on the tight end position as much either. But Goddard goes out there and plays smash mouth football too. So I like that about him. He's a big boy. He can run around with them guys in the trenches. So he just needs to get better at catching the ball. That's all.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Don't really have a problem with those comments at all. I mean, it's definitely what we need to do. And we got Key over here in the chat. What's going on, Key?
What's up, Key?
What's going on, Key?
Key also says Goddard irks my nerves, catches the easy passes, and catches the hard ones. That's true. Of course, you mean drop the easy ones, yeah. That's the ones that he normally drops. Goddard has some big plays for us in this past game, though. But like you said, it's hard when you make a lot of the good plays or the great plays, but then that one, it's like, come on, man, we really need that one. You just got to get a little bit.
In all fairness, Goddard is third on the team with 240 receiving yards. So that is, I mean, like I said, he's but them one. Come on, man, that one. You dropped that one, man. Come on, So that's why I just say a little bit more, because he's consistent. Just a little more consistency from the tight end position, I feel like, and the Eagles just. There's just a little tiny little nuances that I want to button up about the Eagles, and I feel like we're on the road. So
Yeah. Now don't forget,
watch out, right? Watch
when
out.
we need a ball caught, there's only one set of hands we really got to throw it to, and that's the hands attached to number 11.
Right, AJ Brown.
Yeah, because that man gets the ball, right? You put it to him. There's very few
He,
that he drops.
he's El Jefe right now out there. You know,
He's going to be for a while, but you know what? That's the
hopefully.
amazing part about it because, I mean, he's just physical. He's a prototype that you want, and just
He
excited to have
reminds
him.
me of Calvin Johnson, Megatron, but he's just
He
a
does
little
have
bit
some of those
smaller.
skills. Yeah,
He's just a little bit smaller. He's got that same aggression, like at the line of scrimmage. He's got the strength like him. He wants to, like you said, he wants that contact.
Oh yeah,
because if he learned in college, if I go give them this contact immediately, that's going to mess up. Like they try to put hands on me to disturb what I'm doing, but I'm going to put hands on them to disturb what they're doing first. The physicality is great. I love it, man. We're going to go places if we keep him around.
yep. And Snowman in the morning, with Cole Johnson gives us and I'll quote him, "Good evening." What's going on, Snowman? Appreciate you tuning in as well. We're his, according to him, we're his second favorite team this year. He's a 49ers fan, but he's adopted us as his second favorite team. I'll take it. I can't speak for anyone else, but all the bandwagon fans, come on. We'll take you all. Buy our merchandise.
Hop on now while you can.
Hop on now. Now, you're in the back. I was watching one of Lord Brunson's videos. He's another Eagles content creator. I really love watching this stuff. And he was talking about how there's different parts of that bandwagon, though, right? There's that luxury part up front where we're kind of at because we're fans. We've been here. There's the people that kind of slid over in the off season and before they kind of get that middle class, and then there's the back where there ain't even no seats. You just kind of like on the floor. You get some water and crackers, and that's about it. This is kind of where those new bandwagon people. We need to fill up that section. That's the section that gets unfilled when you're not playing as well. So. I'm gonna have I steal that, but I will give credit where credit's due. That was Lord Brunson's idea, but I do completely agree with that.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of where those bandwagon people at. But come on, spend those dollars, help the team be worth more. We'll appreciate that for sure. But yeah, we'll hop over, guys. Snowman with the obligatory "Fly Eagles Fly." Appreciate that, yes sir.
Yes, fly Eagles fly all day, every day,
and twice at night. But
Yes.
yeah,
twice on Sundays too. Oh,
3 or 4 times on Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm
all
with you,
day
I'm
long
with you.
on Sunday.
I'm with you. But guys, so we got about 17 minutes here. Let's talk Cardinals. So,
Ooh.
while we'll start with you, as far as the Cardinals go, how do you see this matchup going? What do you think is going to happen? And what concerns you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, out of all these games so far, this is one I'm actually going into pretty confident against the Cardinals. Now, this is a team that can get dangerous in the face of adversity, mostly in like the third and fourth quarter if they're down, which they have been pretty much all these games so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we have been over the past 4 games, come out first, especially the second quarter, like we have been, smack them in the mouth, put as much points as you can because their offense cannot get anything going in that first or second half. It seems like in the second half of these games, that's where the Cardinals, where Kyler Murray actually has to go out and force himself to make plays, whether it's running or trying to find the open guy. It seems like no matter what, that second half is where they find their footing. So this is where really it's us being kind of letting our foot off the gas in that second half. This is where we're going to have to, keep the foot on the gas. This is where it's going to show what we're made of. Last year we had last week we had inclement weather. This week we won't. So we actually have to go out and play a full 4 quarters here because that offense, they can get hot. Kyler Murray, he hasn't had a great season. He hasn't been looking great, but man, if he can run circles around you, he will, which this team has a lot of training against that type of quarterback. So hopefully we can help contain that a little bit more. And the way we've been creating pressure and that secondary has been flying around, hopefully we can make quick work of these Cardinals. Hopefully we could have this game over by like third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter.
All right, Rob, what are your thoughts?
Oh, well, man, I got a lot of thoughts about this one.
And we got a lot of time.
All right, so first off, let's go back to what we were just talking about a little bit ago. Run the ball all day on these people. Oh, from 15 minutes to go in the first quarter till zeros are on the clock in the fourth quarter. Run the ball all day long. They can't stop it. They won't be able to stop it. When they try to stop it, they'll look ridiculous trying because they can't, and then they'll be, oh, it's your fault. Oh, it's your fault because we out there making them look stupid. And then just when they thought that there was going to be a pass, there goes somebody wilding down the field with his pockets, AJ, Devontae, whoever. Somebody's going to go wild, and they're going to be down there catching the ball. Touchdown. Yeah, that's it. Swoop's going to be in the end zone like, it's going to be wild.
Say, close the door.
All right, Miss Eagles Diva, what are your thoughts?
So I'm like Wyatt. I'm not really worried about it. Kyler Murray and their coach is having a lot of issues. I know they were going back and forth on the sideline. Kyler Murray just doesn't have a good O-line to really give him any type of protection. So I feel sorry for his little tail trying to run from Fletcher Cox to Brandon Graham. And I think that hopefully we can go ahead and get this game over with, like Wyatt said. But the only thing that scares me is us taking our foot off the gas. That's the only thing. If we take our foot off the gas, I think they do have a chance of, if we are up, coming back. If we are down, then beating us. But hopefully we'll be up, and we'll be up enough that, if we do take our foot off the gas, the defense can hold it down. But I don't want that to be a norm every game, expecting the defense to hold it down if the offense can't score during the rest of the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So to ask you guys another question in regards to the Cardinals game and the Cardinals, do you think that the Cardinals will have more success against our offense or against our defense?
Oh man, that's a hard one.
It is.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question one more time?
I sure will, sir.
Okay, so, special teams. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Neither. It's going to be a dominating game, man. We're going to dominate from the jump, and then. But please, I'm praying with you guys. I am. Please don't do that shit, man. Beat the hell out of these boys all day long. Beat them like they took your lunch money, but they didn't take it from you. They took it out of your pocket while you wasn't looking. They didn't come up and man that shit from you, like, give me your lunch money. They're back in the side, Then you approach them and run the ball all day long, abuse these people because they can't stop the Eagles. It's going to be a domination, and hopefully for all four quarters.
So Jada Truth says, love what the Eagles are doing. Would like to see punt and kickoff return addressed, though. I think we'll have the game in hand by half. The defense will show out. Great show. So appreciate that, Jay.
The truth.
Britton Cody is signed to the active roster now.
You heard what he said, right? He said special teams. You can't beat offensive defense, baby. It can't be.
That's why I asked y'all offensive defense, because that's a hard question to answer.
Well, but the defense just depends on Gannon's play calling, if you ask me. Offense, I'd say definitely no, but sometimes Gannon has some awful play calling at the wrong time. And sometimes the defense has a bunch of penalties. So that's the only two things that I would say about the defense. But other than that,
Yeah, the only thing I'm really worried about, not really worried, just a little concerned, is what's the availability of Slay and Maddox? Because I feel like you would have to have one of those guys in there for this game. Whether it's, I would like to have Slay preferably, but I mean, we could probably go another week without Maddox if we have to. Yeah. But man, if you miss both of them, I don't know. That defensive line is going to have to get a lot of pressure throughout the whole game. It's going to rely on them to help out that secondary.
I think they're all going to eat. I think every one of them is going to get a sack. Hargreaves is going to turn up. I'm telling you, the dude is going to turn up. and he's going to manhandle these little boys. Get out of here!
It is
And
going to be the best defense that the
look,
Cardinals have played so far.
I take that
will.
back. He ain't going to
It
get
will
the
be.
sacks. He's not going to get the sacks because that Kyler's too fast. His little feet move too fast. Yeah, it looked like the Energizer Bunny, but so he might not get the sacks, but the pressure and
Yeah.
but you see, but just have the discipline to stay at home and trust Gannon's defense. You know, he's been calling, so trust it. Stay home. Don't overplay. You know how they've done it in the past. Yeah, last year was bad, man. But they've been doing that good defense, staying at home, playing their lanes, sound, disciplined football,
Mhm.
and that's why they're winning. So they need to just stick to that, basically, because that's the recipe for success.
Yeah.
My
I would say
only-
defense, though,
You said
to
defense?
answer your
Okay.
question.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
just based off that.
My only concern in the game is Kyler Murray, right? Because he's a little guy. So it's hard to tackle those smaller quarterbacks, right? Because like you said, he moves fast, he gets around. We've seen him run 10 yards back and then squirt around and fly out of the tackle and make some wild throw.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, so that backyard football, he's really good at when the play breaks down. So, like you said, discipline I think will be important in this, making sure that number one, we get him down when we have the opportunity. So
Right.
if you get your arms around him, lay on him, get him down. But if we don't, being disciplined and making sure that we continue to cover for as long as we can in the defensive backfield, make sure our schemes are there. I think we're going to need to play a lot more zone just because you want to have multiple guys in the area so that when things break down, you have somebody that says, okay, well, I'll break off. I'll take him. You take him, that type of thing. Doesn't have his main receiver at this point, but he's been doing fine with, Dortch, AJ Green, Hollywood
Hey,
Brown.
and they got rid of Kirk, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kirk
Christian
went to
Kirk.
Jacksonville, so
And let's not
and
forget Ertz.
he's still doing good.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown's
That's-
been doing really well for him.
Yeah. And don't forget Ertz.
Oh yeah, he went over there from Baltimore. That's right. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Ertz, yes,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
still
then
catching the ball out there, still doing the same thing he was doing for us.
Yeah. And then their running back, James Conner, he catches the ball really well out of the backfield as well. So that's something that we'll need to make sure that we're paying attention
Oh,
to.
Connor's a strong runner too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And that's the
strong.
thing where what Wyatt said
Downhill.
makes a lot of sense because basically, if we have to play both of the young guys like we did this week at corner, that could be a little tough, because they're not going to have the same level of understanding yet, the same level of discipline. So if we have to play those guys, we may see, some plays that we don't want to have some big plays happen until they can adjust. So definitely, I think Slay's the guy we really want to have back. If we can have them both, that would be optimal. We
Yeah.
get it. It's football. It's during the season.
Save them both for Dallas if you have
Yeah.
to.
If you got to.
We're going to need them both for Dallas.
Exactly. Because we're going to talk about that next week. But yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas.
The fire.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we got a few minutes left. So I'll just go around. We'll start with you, Rob. Any other thoughts you have on the team, on what's happened so far this week, on what we've done so far this season? What you think's going to happen this coming week?
I just have one final thought for Eagles Nation. Keep the turnover ratio going in our direction. We're +8. Let's go to like +10 this week, maybe +11. Let's do that. Let's do a +11 this week. Keep that going high. Keep the time of possession. You're running the ball good. Keep that up. Oh, man, just keep running. What I say? Run the ball every day, all day long. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Miss Eagles Diva, what about you?
I just hope that we keep the momentum going on both offense and defense for the rest of the season. I'm excited for the rest of the season, and I just want the boys to keep having fun, keep doing what they're doing, and let's just go out there and whoop some ass. Fly, Eagles, fly.
All right, Wyatt, on you, man.
Yeah, man. Obviously, couldn't be happier with a 4-0 start here. Hopefully, we can be 5-0. And what's great about it is we've only had really like one main huge injury with Derek Barnett being out for the year, but like overall they've been trying to keep these players healthy. A lot of the kind of nitpicky stuff that we've been talking about, a lot of the stuff going wrong with the team is problems that can be fixed, and it's not even really anything that bad. I mean, they've looked great on offense and defense so far this season. I mean, it's like Sarah was saying, just keep up what you're doing throughout the whole season, and the way that it's been going, like what we saw last year, is there's going to be a progression throughout the season where you really come into form of who you're going to be by the end of the season going into the playoffs, like we all expect this team to be at this point. So, I mean, at this point, man, just go out here and just take care of business on Sunday, play all 4 quarters, and hopefully we win by at least like 15, 20 points and fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, man, I've just enjoyed doing the show with you 3 individuals tonight. Hopefully, we'll continue to do this. Very excited. We actually have a 5th person that will be on next week. So hopefully, we'll have a person next week for every win that we have, like we do this week. 4-0.
Oh, yeah.
people on the
Maybe we
show.
can get another one the next week.
5-0.
6-0.
Hopefully.
And so forth and so
5-0.
on. By the end of the season, we'll have 17 people on here because we'll be perfect. Hey!
Look, I don't even know if StreamYard can handle 17 Eagles fans on at one time.
Everybody should freezing up.
Man, we're gonna bring it down.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is a good game to win. I was a little concerned about their offense. The defense, I'm not really as concerned about. So I think even if they are able to score, as long as we can continue to play the way we need to, we'll be able to get stops when necessary.
Mm-hmm.
We're 0-6 against Arizona in Arizona. So that's something we need to rectify.
Yeah. No better time to fix that than now.
This is the year to fix it.
I don't even like that.
Yeah. So the bus, the Eagles bus is going to be heading over there. They're going to head over a few days early, of course, because it's a long trip to Arizona from Philadelphia. Excuse me. I'm just ready. I know we got a few games in between, but I'm ready for that Pittsburgh, Philadelphia game in Philly because I will be, for the second time this season, getting to watch my guys play live and in the building. So that's going to be exciting. I'll try to get some more video footage this time because hopefully my phone won't overheat. That was not pleasant, by the way. I was really not happy about that. But, it was just exciting to see me. I didn't get to get up with everyone, but hopefully this time I'll be able to get up and, hang out with everybody at halftime, hang out before the game, after the game. I think I'm probably going to go live at halftime and talk about what's happening with the game as well with a lot of our drunk and rowdy fan base. I think that'll be great. Mm-hmm. And just appreciate everybody that watched. Appreciate you guys for all coming on. Hopefully, like I said, we can keep it going. I think it was a great episode. And just ready for another win this weekend. And then
let's get it. Let's get it. Ah.
Shout out to Ben Sutter, who will be on with us next week as well. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan, but he's one that's very analytical. That'll actually talk the game and not just the Cowboys are greater than everybody else and they're going to the Super Bowl every year because of the Cowboys. So I think it'll actually be fun, a little interesting for us next week. He's on the NFC B show with me on Saturday nights. You can actually catch that right here on the Eagles Elite channel as well. So you're already here. You're already tuning in. Just hop on Saturday. You can check out the NFC Beast here. On Friday nights, you can check me out 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. playcallsportstalk.com/live. Here on Wednesday nights, Tuesday, right there on playcallsportstalk.com/live. I also have the NFL Matchup Madness, and it's madness. Believe me. You get 32 people covering every team, talking smack to each other. It's madness. It's good TV. Trust me, you want to see it. But any shout-outs on anyone else?
Shout out to the squad. Appreciate y'all. This was a
yes.
game.
Shout out,
Yes.
Shout out. Shoot out. Wild West. I don't know. Let's go. Woo.
All right, Jay.
Thanks for tuning in, Jay.
Yeah, Jay will be joining us next week.
I like that Eagles picture. That was nice.
She'll be on the show with us starting next week. So hopefully we'll have us 2 ladies on to give us a female perspective on the Eagles. And hey, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. So with that, everyone, we're going to close up shop for the evening. But remember, hashtag be elite. Fly Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles fly. Ah! Ah!
Hey.
Oh, and I have a small message for the Arizona Cardinals.
Love it.
Let's go.
The kick is away, and the kick is it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.